Throwback Thursday, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about another games console, and this is my Sega Mega Drive. This is the later model, the Mega Drive 2, which was... Oh, it doesn't actually say when it was released. Brilliant. Normally these things have a year on them, like a copyright year. This one doesn't, apparently. Yeah, it really does not say at all. So I've no idea when this was released, but it's the UK Mega Drive 2. It's not an import or anything like that. Pretty standard system, really. I just wanted to quickly talk about how I got hold of it. So, this belonged to my cousin, and I have to assume... I'm not sure exactly how this went down, but a few years ago, I went on holiday to France, to Brittany in France. And my uncle has a big house over there, so we stayed there. And in the massive shed that they've got, there's a big workshop, and then in the back there's a load of shelves. And as it happens, a big old widescreen cathode ray tube. I think it's a Toshiba something or other. Don't tend to like widescreen CRTs, but it was a CRT, and it did a job. Also, I happened to find a PlayStation in there, and the Mega Drive. I had no idea that my cousin ever had a Mega Drive, but it must have been his, because the PlayStation was his. The reason why I know that is because, well, I don't necessarily know that, but I expect that would have been the case, because I found a copy of Tomb Raider in the... book of discs that was knocking about, in addition to a load of demo discs and totally legitimate copied discs. So I'm fairly sure that that PlayStation was modded, chipped. I didn't test this theory, but I'm confident that it was probably chipped based on the copied discs that were in there. And interestingly, I think the CRT, I remember that tube being at my aunt and uncle's house when me and my brother were growing up, when we were all growing up, I suppose. I remember it being there. It was in the back room. So, quite interesting. Obviously, the Mega Drive had been and gone when I was around, and it was old hat because the PlayStation was the big thing when I was little. So I never actually got to play with this. And well, I brought this back, and I brought all the games that he had back. He only had like 3. I'm just looking at my shelf now. I've not got many Mega Drive games, and most of them are from the collection that this came from: Sonic, Flashback, and Road Rash. Pretty sure they were the only 3 that were there. As well as only 1 controller, if I recall. Now, it kind of makes sense, because my cousin has never been massive on video games, but my aunt and uncle have always had money, so it was probably just the done thing. The Mega Drive was cool. And, in fact, yeah, I think my cousin was born at just the right time to have a Mega Drive growing up when he was little, so... yeah, probably a lot of people at school had Mega Drives, and so he may have had to have a Mega Drive. A lot of people at school probably had PlayStations, and so he had to have a PlayStation, and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, he probably didn't play it all that much, and it doesn't really look that well used. I mean, it's got a couple of scratches and scuffs on it, but on the whole, there's some wear and tear from being sat in a shed and probably an attic for years. Sorry, I'm holding it in front of the mic. You can't hear me. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's been used all that much, really. Certainly hasn't had many games put in and taken out. There's not many scratches on the cartridge door here. I don't know, it's a nice piece with a nice backstory. All I want to know is how my uncle got that telly all the way to France, because I swear that was the same one. And in fact, the telly that I've got here in front of me, that was from France as well. I managed to bring that back with me. Yeah, Interesting. I hope you found that interesting. I certainly do. But anyway, that's my Mega Drive. It hasn't actually been plugged in ever since I got it back. But one of the things that I'll have to sort out as and when. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.